Good evening and welcome to the St. Thomas Stars audio live broadcast, where we are live from the Chatham Memorial Arena in Chatham, Ontario, where the St. Thomas Stars will take on the Chatham Maroons tonight in a tough matchup. Chatham first place in the Western Conference, a record of 26-7-1-3. And the St. Thomas Stars on a bit of a skid right now. They're currently 8th in the West, 16-15-2-1. Although in their last 10, 1-7-2. So they're going to have to pick it up tonight against a tough Chatham team, defending Sutherland Cup champs. And it's going to be a doozy tonight in Chatham. It is mental health awareness tonight in Chatham. It's face-off for mental health. A good recognizing of that by the Chatham Maroons organization. They wore some green jerseys in warm-up that will be auctioned off, I believe, here tonight at the Memorial Arena. Got a silent auction going on along with some other prizes, so a great job by the Maroons to raise awareness for mental health, a great opportunity. And the next home game for the St. Thomas Stars will be similar, as Bell Let's Talk Day will happen then for Friday night's game. Starting goaltenders tonight, Dylan Durno will be in net for the St. Thomas Stars. Holds a record of 4-5-1-1. Goals against average of 3.47 and a save percentage of 9.18, which is good for 8th in the league. And he'll be matched up against Villain Kukola from Finland. Holds a record of 9-3-0. A goals against average of 2.82 and a save percentage of 9.12. So a good goaltender matchup tonight between these two conference rivals. Last season, the Stars getting one victory over the Maroons, although this current season, they are 0-2 against Chatham. Going over the scratches for both teams. For the St. Thomas Stars, Victor Moody will be out of the lineup, and as will Reed Crossman. And for the Chatham Maroons, Parker Graham is out, Boris Genov is out, Caden Sienko and Seth Coomber are out of the lineup tonight for Chatham. And you'll probably hear some yelling here. That's how it is in Chatham. It's a great atmosphere. These fans are passionate, and it's always a good time in Chatham, Ontario for a Maroons hockey game. And it's always tough when you're coming in as the enemy. So be prepared for that. You'll hear some hollering and hooting in the background. Nothing I can do about that. It's all passion here in Chatham. They're even giving it to the guy setting up the microphone at center ice. That's how it is. So looking at the St. Thomas Stars away record, isolated with that is 6-10-0-1. So they've been more successful at home, whereas the Chatham Maroons, pretty even between the two, but they've actually lost more in this building, 13-5-0-2. So more of their losses have come at home this season, not many of those losses, with just the 7 regulation and 3 in the extra frame, or 4 in the extra frame, I should say. 1 overtime, 3 shootout. Last time the Stars were here was the home opener for the Maroons, where they raised their Sutherland Cup banner. It was a good effort on that night, a 5-3 final. And that was the season opener for the St. Thomas Stars. A lot of first GOHL games on that night. And the Stars will look to try and return to that form that they had in the first couple months. It's been a tough skid. They're coming off a loss against the London Nationals at home on Friday. Ended up being a 7-2 all in all. William Capitaro played 30 minutes and ended up being relieved by Dylan Durno. Capitaro finished with a 5.83 save percentage, 12 shots, 12 shots, 5 goals against for Capitaro, and then Durno finished off the night stopping 14 out of 16, save percentage of 8.75. The Stars looking to bounce back. That's 2 losses in a row, both to London. And then the win against LaSalle before that, the only win in their last 10. The Chatham Maroons are coming off a 5-3 win in Elmira last night, as DeBlassie got the start for them, 32 out of 35 saves, save percentage of 9.14. So with DeBlasi playing last night, Kukula will get the start tonight for the Maroons. A little bit of a delay here to start off the game as the opening ceremonies for this face-off for mental health is getting set up still, looks like. Got a nice maroon carpet on the ice. And as we await that to get going, I thought Trevor Zanudo, when I looked up the rosters, had a suspended sign beside his name, but I saw him in the warm-ups. So the Chatham Maroons will not be without their leading scorer, 45 points in 35 games. Also their leading goal scorer, 25 goals on the season. Well, that might have been a bit of a break for the Stars, but not the case. As these home fans welcome their Chatham Maroons to the ice. St. Thomas will be wearing their away whites tonight, guarding the left net, attacking to the right, and the Chatham Maroons in their dark maroon jerseys, guarding the right, attacking to the left. Gotta love the atmosphere here at the Chatham Memorial as the team comes from the opposite side of the rink onto the bench on our near side. Stars didn't have to make that skate across, as their locker rooms are below us. As the Tykes are going to hit the ice, wearing the mental health green jerseys as well, face off for mental health. The Tykes are representing as well. Looks like we got quite a few of them as their parents scream from the stands. Seeing their little ones out there right alongside the Chatham Maroons starting lineup. So we'll leave it to the arena announcer right now to take us through this opening ceremony.
face-off for Mental Health Day here at Memorial Arena.
Owen Gray and Dylan Richter to take the ceremonial puck drop.
And as our pregame festivities continue, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to direct your attention to center ice and for the Maroons, number 98, Evan Brown.
Before we continue with tonight's pregame ceremonies, I'd like to take a brief moment today. Please stand as your table and please remove your hats. This moment is for anyone in your family who's struggling and for everyone who loves such wishes. It's for my teammates, coaches, parents, fans, and friends. And those fighting battles we can't always see. Mental health touches every community, every family, and every team. Tonight we stand together to remind one another that under us is a solution. Please join me in a moment of silence to reflect, to honor, and hold space for them.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for the moment of silence. And again, thank you to number 98, Evan Brown. Despite no fans on ice, we please remain standing if possible, remove your hats, and join us in the city of Low Canada.
And with that, we are ready to go. Just about. You're in Chatham, Ontario at the Chatham Memorial Arena. Just got to clean up the ice a bit, get the Timbits off. That's little humans, not the donuts. As they make their way to the far side, the St. Thomas Stars get ready to face off against the Chatham Maroons. Chatham currently first in the Western Conference, holding a record of 26-7-1-3. St. Thomas holds the 8th place spot in the West, 16-15-2-1. A matchup between the first seed and the 8th seed right now, as is, could potentially be a playoff matchup if things stayed as they were. St. Thomas Stars 1-7-2 in their last 10. And the Chatham Maroons in their last 10. If I can get my sheet right. Are 5-4-0-1. So about half of Chatham's losses that they do have come in their last 10 games this season. As they have been a powerhouse in this league, and the puck is dropped and we are underway. St. Thomas wearing the whites, guarding the left net, attacking to the right. Chatham in the dark maroon jerseys, guarding the right, attacking to the left. As behind the net, picking it up is Josh Harding for the Maroons, trying to get it up that far wall and out of his own zone. Does get it up to LaChance. And LaChance to the near side. Chadwick fires it deep into the zone, rung around the boards to the far side. Hello on the Gallic trying to battle Richter for the puck, but Richter gets it back to the blue line. Back to Dockstetter. Dockstetter will send it back down low to LaChance. LaChance cycling with Richter behind the net. Chatham Maroons pouring on the pressure early as they take a shot from the blue line. That'll be a stop for Durnall, his first of the night. Long shot from Dockstetter at the blue line. Far side in the neutral zone. The Chatham Maroons steal the puck back. Drop pass. Far side, near side to Jackson Priddle. Controls it. Takes a pass out in front. Save for Durnall again. Right in the slot that one comes. As the Maroons keep possession and retreat to the neutral zone to hold on to that puck. Now St. Thomas will grab possession in their own zone off a turnover. Joey Bazzetta up the right side. Avoids a hit and dumps it into the Chatham zone. In behind the Chatham net, the Maroons defense will grab the puck and ring it around the near side. Comes all the way out. Zanuto blasts away, tucks it, 5-hole, scores! Trevor Zanuto, the leading scorer for the Chatham Maroons, opens it up and gets the icebreaker, burying a good chance past Dylan Durnall. He kind of gave himself a breakaway by blasting away on the near side. And Zanuto, back from a suspension, strikes against the St. Thomas Stars. Again, checking the rosters today, he still had the S beside his name, so I thought the Stars might have caught a break and the leading scorer for the Maroons would be off the ice tonight, but not the case, and makes the difference right away. So in the Chatham Maroon zone, Stars ringing around the boards, back at the blue line. Rowan Reed sends it towards the goal. That's a save for Kukala. Rebound couldn't be controlled on the far side by a Star, and now the Maroons will come the other way. A raucous building, it always is here at the Chatham Memorial Arena. Now Braxton Mullins takes a big hit from Kucher. Stars get a break though on the other way, and a shot saved against Rowan Reed by Kukala. Mullins took the hit to make the play. Mullins taking a shot from the near side. That'll miss high and wide on the blocker side, far side. And Kucher's going to pick up the rebound, head down this way. Now Owen Gray. Pass to the near side. Rowan Reed. Rowan Reed takes a big hit from Kucher as well, who's throwing the body early tonight, as he usually does. Big frame on Kucher. As a giveaway behind the goal line, passed out in front. Shot couldn't get released by the Stars. Ilchishin, pass to the far side. Owen Gray from the blue line, pass out to the middle. Matsos over to Stuckey on the near side. Shot blocked. Maroons come the other way. Chatham up the far side. It's Aitken. Far side sends it towards the side of the goal. Dylan Durnall stops that with the pad down, flush to the post. Chatham will grab possession and keep the offensive shift going here. Loose puck out in front off a poke check, now sent to the far boards. Harding turns and fires it up the wall. Ilchishin in a battle for it against Jimenez. Now a shot off a loose puck, doesn't get towards the goal, but it flutters in front of Durnall, who finds the puck and covers it up for a whistle. Tough pace set early here by the Chatham Maroons in their home barn. Defending Sutherland Cup champs. He's reeling on his way to the bench was Crawford. Looks to be all right. Might have just been a little gassed. Matthew Crawford playing his third game with the Maroons. Has 1 goal in 2 games so far. One of the new acquisitions for Chatham. In behind the net, their own net, Chatham will send it up the ice. Stretch pass doesn't work. Ends up on the stick of Rory Savage. Far side, a tip pass ahead. Savage tries a second attempt as it hits a skate. Now Legalic will send it in, but Harding will pick up the puck. Maroons up the near side. Chadwick in across the blue line. Tries to whip it across to the far side. Loose puck in front. Chadwick can't get it on net. Durnall might have got a piece of it. Tries to poke it away from him. Far side, up along the wall. Pinching in is Harding to try and keep that puck in the offensive zone. He does. Gets it onto a teammate's stick. Chadwick receives a deflected pass. Shot in front from Richter, stopped by Durno. Big save by Dylan Durno, avoiding a 2-goal deficit on that shift. Dockstader stops up in behind his net to our right, as he'll wait for his team to complete a line change. He'll be slow to come up the ice. Now he'll step out in front of his own goal. Zanudo up the left side. Goal scorer so far tonight. Chatham up 1-0. Brings it around the boards, far side. He'll come all the way outside the zone and onto the defense sticks. Stretch pass through the middle by Chatham. Doesn't hit its target, and the St. Thomas Stars now with the puck. Through the neutral zone, now in across the blue line. Cade Kinnear, a shot. That's deflected and heads wide. Kinnear chases it down in the corner. They'll get it back to Reed. A shot from distance through traffic. Stopped by Kukala. Another shot. Scores in front. A scramble play, and it's finished off just outside the blue paint. As it's Jimmy Sutherland who got the stick on it to get it past Kukala. It's tied 1-1. Good battle so far here in Chatham. Both teams giving it their all. It was probably the best chance for the Stars so far, and they capitalize on it to get it past Kukala on a gritty play in front of the goal. Scramble face-off at center ice. Mullins takes a shot just after crossing the blue line. His stick exploded, though. The blade heads over the head of Kukala. Now puck picked up by the Maroons. They'll send it into the zone, but the tip attempt to dump it in will head over the glass and force a stoppage in play. So 1-1 now with 14:44 left on the clock in the first period. A great start to this hockey game in the GOHL. St. Thomas taking the road trip up on the bus in the hostile territory, trying to get their first win against Chatham this season. Bit of confusion on the St. Thomas bench right now. Mullins needs a stick, as I think he had to stay out there. Face off just outside of the Chatham Maroons zone. Will be one back to Dockstader. Dockstader drop pass to Kucher. Kucher on the near side. Pass ahead, tipped into the zone by Edwards. Found by the Stars and sent back the other way. Pettipace winds and fires. That's off a skate and will trickle wide. In behind the goal line. Sent up to the far side. Away comes Alexander Lacey for Chatham. He'll cut to the middle. Gets tied up in a couple skates. As it'll head back out into the neutral zone. Harding will send it back in. In behind the goal, Owen Gray. To the far corner, Stuckey. Trying to get it up the wall to Mullins. Mullins has to get it back to Stuckey. Flipped out to center ice, and the Maroons will take possession. Far side, Aiden Doyle. The leading defensive scorer for the Maroons, over a point per game. As Doyle has 33 points in 28 games. Pass ahead to Cooper Elchishin in the zone, looking for a trailer behind him, but that pass attempt stopped by Doyle. And now the Maroons head the other way. And across the blue line. Blasting away was on the far side, Max Skinner, who got a little bit of a step but couldn't hold on to the puck. Pass up the middle, Ty Lawson on the other end of the defender. Lawson stopped by Kukala as he tried to tuck it forehand, and now another chance in front. Matsos getting denied by Kukala on the near side off a rebound attempt. That'll hit the pad. Long shot from the far side by Savage goes wide. Rebound comes around to the near boards, is whacked into the neutral zone. Savage over to Bezzetta on the near side. Giveaway at the blue line. Chadwick almost pounced on it, but recovering was Savage to get it to Ilchishin. His stick breaks in his own zone. Bezzetta scrambling to try and back him up. Puck does get to the neutral zone, allowing the Stars to get a fresh player on there with a working stick, as the Maroons get it in the zone now. Near side, Chadwick up along the wall. Miles Dunn scrambles it out. Now up to Wyatt Cameron on the right wing. Cameron cuts to the middle, trying to make a move around Kucher. Couldn't do so. Pardon me, it was Aiden Doyle he was trying to deke around. Now behind the net, a giveaway in front. Miles Dunn sends it out in front, but Cameron just couldn't tuck it home on the near side. Had a yawning cage in front of him, but the puck was bobbling a bit. Just couldn't find it with the blade of his stick. High flip pass out of the St. Thomas zone ahead, and a stoppage in play as it was offside on the entry attempt. As the puck was bouncing through, the players couldn't quite time it right on the entry. Face off just outside of the Chatham Maroons zone on the far side. Chatham wins the draw. Defenseman passes it ahead past Zanuto. In behind the goal line, boxing out was Vahoviak, allowing Durnall to slap the mitt down on the puck and get a whistle. There's a great turnout here in Chatham, Ontario. It's a packed house. We've had a good attendance all season, averaging about 700, 800. But tonight looks especially packed as they're holding a silent auction for the face-off for mental health. The Maroons win the draw in the St. Thomas zone. Passed around behind the net, trying to jam it out in front. Couldn't do so with Skinner as it glides across the face of the goal. Far side, Zanuto gets it down low beside the net. Pass out in front, big save by Durnall with the blocker. Keeping that out. Chance about 2 feet in front of him. Scrambly puck on the near side. Ends up exiting the zone off of Cade Kinnear somehow. And now the Maroons send it back in. Pass out in front off a skate. Kinnear's going to pick it up. Try and head the other way. Edmondson tips a pass in. Shot towards goal. Rebounds loose as Kukala got it with the blocker. It popped up on top of him almost. He was worried, but his defender comes in to help him out. And no white jerseys to pounce on that rebound. Distance shot. Kukala gives up a juicy rebound right in front of him. Right on top of him, basically. Stretch pass by the Stars up the middle. Does not work. Chatham with the puck now. Drop pass in the neutral zone. Monach will grab that and send it back into the Chatham zone. Now the Maroons with it. Trying to send it ahead. Another pass blocked by Monach. He'll chase the puck into the Chatham zone. Dockstader with it behind his own goal. Send it down the right side, and it goes deep into the St. Thomas end. Stuckey pressing his man into the corner, but it gets back to the blue line for the Maroons. Dockstader near side. He'll send it back down in behind the goal line. Into the far corner, Burke trying to work it loose. Now behind the net, picked up by Edwards. Shot from the near side, as that one's going to miss the target from Lacey. Rebound comes all the way along the far boards and down the ice into the Chatham zone. Maroons have it behind their goal line. They'll head up the left wing. Crawford now switches to the right wing. Coming up the ice is Aitken into the zone. Pass in front, scores! Actually, I don't even think that was a pass. Aitken just tucked it over the glove of Durnall into the back of the net. And yes, he did. He'll take the first bump. So Xander Aitken taking a 2-1 lead for the Chatham Maroons with a lovely snipe from the far face-off dot. Beating Dylan Durnall glove side, short side. So 9:41 left in the first period. Chatham reclaims their lead, 2-1 now. They'll win the opening draw after the goal. Shot in front, saved by Durnall, rebounds loose in front. Shot couldn't get released. Another shot from distance that time through traffic. Finds its way into the body of Dylan Durnall, but he'll make the stop and cover it up. And a couple shoving matches going on in front of the goaltender. It's Cooper Ochishin getting involved with Matthew Crawford a little bit. We'll line up to the left of Dylan Durnall on the far side. Chatham with an offensive zone draw. Tie up on the draw. Allows a winger to pick it up. Pass attempt out in front behind the net. That's stopped by Durnall. Now picked up by Vahoviak, who takes a big hit from Kucher on the near boards. Far side, Legalic. They'll try and cycle it down low. That's denied. Chatham trying to exit their zone, and Legalic won't let them. Now they get it out up the far wall. Legalic's stick's broken. Rough game here in Chatham. Very physical. As Kucher's throwing the body, as are a few of his teammates. And a few broken sticks so far as well. And now a rush up the ice by the Maroons is thwarted. Savage will send it to the neutral zone. Kucher grabs it for Chatham, sends it up the far side. It's blocked by the referee. And they'll have to try again. Doyle, pass back to Kucher on the far boards. Heads all the way back deep into their own zone. Now Kucher heads up the middle. Carter Kucher, pass straight up to Richter. Gets a little speed, trying to get the 5-hole shot on Durnall, but he closes up the pads to deny that chance. In behind the goal. It's picked up by Krell, sent up the right side. Chatham gives it away in their own zone. Jimmy Sutherland hands it off. Edmondson looking for a shot through traffic. It's stopped by one of the many bodies in front of Kukala. Now back to the blue line. It hops over the stick of Savage, who now has to retreat into his own zone along with Bezzetta. Pass to Bezzetta. Bezzetta sends it up the center of the ice. Ends up going on the stick of Edmondson. Takes a shot from distance. And that's caught by the glove of Villain Kukala. It'll be a face-off inside the Chatham zone. As these St. Thomas Stars in for a tough one tonight, that's for sure. If the first 12 minutes have any indication. It's been a rough stuff tonight. Crowd is into it as always here in Chatham. It's going to be a tough job to try and get the W tonight that the Stars need. 1-7-2 in their last 10 games played. Pass out in front. Nice defensive stick by Stuckey. Sends it ahead to Chase Pettipiece. Pettipiece up the right wing. He'll chip it past Doxteter into the far corner. Stuckey in to chase it down. Does battle for it in the corner. Max Mona coming in to help him out, but the puck runs away from him. Now up the near side. Zanuto trying to chop it in. Stoppage in play. As looks like it hit one of the bodies leaning over the St. Thomas bench. Face off just outside of the St. Thomas zone on our near side. Won by the Chatham Maroons. They'll send it to the far boards. Kucher will dump it in deep. Skinner in the near corner. He'll cycle it behind the goal line. Lacey comes in to grab a loose puck off a poke check from Ilchishin. Now flung down the ice by the Stars into the neutral zone. Kucher far side. He'll backhand it high deep into the St. Thomas zone. Behind the net, picked up by Rowan Reed. Does a quick turn, a 180 turn to avoid a check from the Maroon coming in. Now the Maroons will dump it in as they have a delayed offside, giving Vahoviak a chance to collect the puck. He'll stop up behind his net before he heads out up the left side. Stretch pass finds Ty Lawson. Lawson trying to switch it back for Ilchishin on the near side, coming in with some speed. Shot from the wall by Matsos, misses wide. Vahoviak fakes a shot, tried to send it up the wall, but it's off Lawson's skate and back out into the neutral zone. Vahoviak will pick it up off a pass from Rowan Reed. Another pass goes off a skate. Now Ty Lawson will pick it up. Stars sent backwards again. Vahoviak still with the puck at least from behind his net. Stretch pass up the left wing looking for Miles Dunn. That's stopped by the Chatham Maroons, and an offside entry on the far side by Chatham halts the play. Six minutes left in this first period. The Maroons up 2-1. Neutral zone draw, won by Chatham. Hard shot through the neutral zone, tipped into the St. Thomas end by the Maroons. Pass from the far wall to Legalic. Now near side, Miles Dunn. Pass in front, Savage pushing ahead, stopped by Kukala. Far side, Chatham Maroons on a counterattack. As the near side, Crawford carries it all the way in deep and takes a hit. Passes it off to Doyle, but the return pass off target, and it'll head back into the Chatham zone. Evan Krell to pick it up. Krell from behind his own net. We're in the number 98. His pass ahead to LaChance. Tried to receive it off his skate, but then it bounced a little too far from him to reach with the stick. They'll try again up the right side this time. Far side, Krell tying up against the boards. Stars steal the puck. Pass ahead to Legalic. One-on-one against a defender. Scores! Eloan Legalic sniping it past the blocker side of Kukala from the far face-off dot. And the Stars tie it up at 2. Good back and forth here tonight in Chatham, as the Stars battle back to even the score. Just under 5 minutes left in this first period. And the indication of this first 15 minutes would make for a heck of a playoff series between these two teams. Wall battle inside the St. Thomas zone in the near corner. Pops out to Doxter at the blue line. Shot from distance, caught by Dylan Durnall with the trapper. And he'll get a face-off in his own zone. Chatham Maroons are going to change their lines, get some fresh legs out. Sending out their top line, I would guess. Trevor Zanuto, Jackson Priddle, and McChesney. All over a point per game. Well, McChesney is just under a point per game. They're all heavy offensive threats. In behind the St. Thomas goal line, and a battle for it. Loose puck is picked up by the Maroons. McChesney back to the blue line. Doxter near side, trying to get it up the wall and deep in the St. Thomas end. Sutherland strips the puck. Now up the far side, Edmondson trying to get it ahead. Can't do so. He's out-muscled by a few Maroons. Chance on the far side. McChesney tried to tuck it on the far post. Couldn't get around the pad of Durnall. Loose puck in behind the net. Picked up by Zanuto. Back to the blue line. Far side, Harding, a shot from distance. Pad save for Durnall. Rebounds loose behind the net. McChesney pass out in front. Now back to the blue line again. Harding over to Doxter on the near side. Shot towards goal. Tipped wide. Might have been tipped by Charlie Stuckey, who now chases the puck into the corner. He'll flick it off the glass and get it out into the neutral zone to relieve some pressure. And a whistle is blown on the play. Might have touched the netting over the glass on its way out. Looks like that's the call, as well a neutral zone face-off. Cooper Iltitian in to take the draw. Can't win that matchup against Braden Burke. Pass far side. Ahead to Max Skinner. Into the zone, he couldn't hang on to the puck. Stars pass ahead to Mullins up the middle. Mullins over to Pettipies. Pettipies trying to get it past the blue line. Can't do so. He's double teamed. Edwards comes away with it. Edwards pass far side. Comes off the wall. Iltitian will pick it up. Now the Stars working their way out the near side. Pass ahead gets past Pettipies. Far side, Skinner with the puck in the offensive zone now. Shot from the wall, saved by Durnall. As a quick shot from Aiden Edwards right along the near wall. Out in front looking for a tip perhaps from Burke, who was driving the net. But Durnall gets in the way and also collects the rebound to win a face-off in his own zone. Face-off will be on the far side. Max Monick in to take it. Wins the draw. Up the far boards. Monick in across the blue line. Has Matsos with him. Pass out in front. Ends up with a save by Kukala. As Monick was looking for Matsos going towards the net, but it went through everyone and into the pads. Near corner in the Chatham zone. Stars battling for it. It ends up going behind the Maroons' goal, and now it'll be picked up by Doyle. Aiden Doyle. Stretch pass straight up the middle to Priddle. Jackson Priddle. Pushed away by Bazetta. Loose puck on the far side. Now sent ahead to George Matsos. Matsos shot towards goal. Blocker save from Kukala. as the Stars are trying to throw everything at the Finnish goaltender. He's given up a few big rebounds so far tonight. Pass from the far side from McChesney. Nobody to receive it in front of the goal. Stars counterattack 2-on-2. It's off the boards. It gets to Savage. Savage returns it to Lawson. A shot from an angle, and it's steered aside by the stick of Kukula. Now Owen Gray, a shot through traffic off a shin and just wide. Loose puck behind the net, picked up by Harding. Harding sends it up the left wing to McChesney. McChesney up to Priddle on the far side, who tries to dump it in, and there'll be a stoppage in play as the Maroons don't like it. They're pleading with the referee, saying that should not be the call. To be honest, I'm not quite sure what the call was, as we're going to have a center ice draw. Could have been a hand pass, perhaps? I don't know. I'm guessing at that point. Far side, Evan Krell for the Maroons from his own zone. A giveaway. Legalic trying to deke around Harding, and it hits Harding in the skate as he stops that attempt. Far side, the Maroons in the offensive zone. Stuckey finds it. He'll send it up the left wing to Legalic. Legalic, soft pass in front to Miles Dunn. He couldn't find it. And now the Maroons with it, coming out of their own end. LaChance, pass to the far side to Richter. Pass attempt out front, hits a skate, stops dead. Stars pick it up, head the other way. Rush for the Stars. Legalic winds and fires it. Nice block by Dockstader, sticking out his stick in the shooting lane. Far side, Ian LaChance. Take it back into his own zone. We'll hand it off to Doyle. Doyle switches to the right wing. It's tapped in by Carter Chadwick into the St. Thomas zone. Stars will pick it up and stop up behind their net. Luke Vahoviak from behind his own goal. He'll step out in front of Durno, heads back behind the goal. Now hands it off to Ilchishin. Ilchishin back for Vahoviak. Vahoviak now tries to head forward. Try and send it up the wall. That's stopped by Crawford. And sent right back into the St. Thomas zone behind the net. Luke Vahoviak will try again. He'll send it up the far wall hard. Goes all the way down the ice and into the path of Kukula as time winds down and the buzzer sounds. Kukula gets credit for one more stop. An easy one at the end of the first period. So after 20 minutes here at the Chatham Memorial Arena, we're all tied up at 2-2. A great back and forth battle, a good physical matchup. Chatham throwing the body a lot early tonight. And we'll see how the rest of this game shakes up. This is the first of 2 games in a row against the Chatham Maroons for St. Thomas. And the next game will be at home at the Joe on Friday. It'll be Bell Let's Talk Day. Be sure to come out to that and support as the St. Thomas Stars support mental health. So that'll do it for the first period of play. Final score after one frame, St. Thomas 2, Chatham 2. We'll be back in just a bit as we take a short break for the first intermission. Welcome back, live from the Chatham Memorial Arena in Chatham, Ontario. The St. Thomas Stars visiting to take on the Maroons. After one period of play, the score is tied 2-2. As a scoring summary so far, Trevor Zanuto getting his 26th of the season at 1:28 of the first period, assisted by Ewan McChesney and Carter Kuchar. Jimmy Sutherland tying it up with his third of the season at 5:02, assisted by Cade Kinnear and Cole Edmondson. Chatham retook the lead. Xander Aitken with his sixth on the season at 10:19, and then Eloan Legalic tying it at 2 with his ninth goal on the year, assisted by Jimmy Sutherland and Owen Gray. So with that scoring summary, Cade Kinnear now 3 points in his first 2 games back since coming back from an injury. It's great to see him back on the ice, and he has not missed a step since missing almost 2 months. It might have been over 2 months with the Christmas break. So we are ready to go. The teams are lined up for the face-off. Stars will be guarding the right net for this period, attacking to the left. Eloan Legalic sends it up the right wing to Miles Dunn. He'll get pressed up against the wall by Doxfitter. Loose puck now sent out to the near side. Legalic trying to send it in, but it's off a skate back at him, and he'll send it back to his defenders. Up the middle, Miles Dunn. He'll get it up the near wall to Legalic, who will get it in deep to the Chatham zone. Puck off the backboard, and now sent out into the neutral zone by the Maroons. Owen Gray will backhand it right back in. Far side, Doxfitter. He'll send it up the left wing. And ahead, Carter Chadwick can't control it. Now a ricochet will end up on Harding's stick. Harding a backhand pass out in front off a skate. Chadwick picking up the rebound but couldn't get a shot off. Wyatt Cameron the other way. Up the near side, he'll find Legalic on the far boards, and a shot rung over the glove and over the net as well. Loose puck heads out into the neutral zone, picked up by Joey Bezzetta. Bezzetta up the right wing. He'll find Kuchar, the wrong man, as he'll pick it up in his own end. Evan Krell up to the far corner, and he'll burst with some speed up the left wing. Big hit thrown by Bezzetta up along the wall. Near side. Chatham trying to keep it in the zone. They're pressing a man up against the wall. They'll pop out to the near side. A little bit of that right zone is blocked off by a big face-off for mental health board behind the Chatham bench. They'll lose the puck every now and then. Chatham trying to get into the St. Thomas zone with a pass. That's off target. Onto the stick of Savage. Now sent ahead. Ilchishin far side. Matsos winds and fires over the blocker, but wide of the goal. Near side, the Stars are going to keep it in. Ty Lawson gets it into the corner to Matsos. Puck found by Chatham. They'll fling it high and just past the blue line out into the neutral zone. Far side, Rowan Reed rings it around the boards to the near corner. Incoming was Wyatt Cameron. Pass out in front for Edmondson. Toe save for Kukala. Far side rebound. Chatham will find it after a shot block. Now Priddle up the right wing, but well offside, as the pass across was a little bit backwards, and the forwards on the far side were ahead of the blue line. So Chatham 5-4-0-1 in their last 10. As on the season, they've only got the 7 regulation losses and 4 in the extra frame. So more than half of their losses have actually come at home. Just about half, if you take into account the overtimes. Far side, Rowan Reed. And deep to Wyatt Cameron in the far corner. He'll make a move and get it back to the blue line to Reed. Reed, far side, gets it ahead to Edmondson. Edmondson, backhand out in front, pass in front. Vahoviak fires it right into the chest of Kukala, who squeezes it tight. Both teams go for a full line change. Out comes what some are calling the Goon line. Max Monick, Chase Pettipies, and Braxton Mullins. And they They're a physical group. Love to throw the hits, but a good skill set as well. Far side, chipped into the St. Thomas zone by Chatham. Lukohoviak up the wall of the near side. Now sent ahead. Chase Pettipice with a little bit of a step, but he has to chase the puck down into the far corner. Pettipice pressed up against the wall by Dockstader. He'll pop it out to Mullins. Gets it back in deep. And now the Chatham Maroons will get another chance to get it out. Up the far side, Aiden Edwards. He'll push it ahead. Lacey in the corner. Lacey behind the goal. Now gets it behind the net, and another wall battle for it. He's now coming away with it was Burke. Up the near side, Kucher backhands it back in deep. In the near corner. Stars trying to get a handle on it. It's all tied up in the skates up against the wall now. It pops free. Chase Pettipice the opposite way. Braxton Mullins takes a hit as he gets that in the zone. And he gives some words to Kucher as Kucher tried to throw a big hit, but Mullins stood him up. Now a shot from Richter right in front of the goal off the side of the net. The rebound goes after Durno makes a save. It bounced off a body and the puck hit the side of the goal. Attempt to send it out in front, thwarted and sent down the ice by the Stars, but that'll be an icing call. So we'll head back in front of Dylan Durno. Far side face-off. Monic and Pettipice are staying out there, but they're joined by Legalic after the icing call as they got caught on a halfway through a line change. Clear attempt is going to touch the netting, it looks like, so now they'll get a chance to complete that line change. So out comes Miles Dunn and Wyatt Cameron to join Legalic on that forward line. Stuckey and Gray on the back end. Gray, pass up the near side. Legalic ahead to Wyatt Cameron. Cameron tried to get it to Dunn. That's stopped up by the Maroons. Now they'll enter the zone. LaChance. The back pass to the blue line. Doyle passed through the zone, trying to look for Richter. Went right through his legs. Rush the other way. Miles Dunn fires it. Blocker save. Rebound sent towards the goal by Cameron. And another save made by Kukala. Kukala standing tall on a 2-on-1 chance. And the Stars denied of taking the lead here. 15-17 left in the second period. LaChance jawing at the St. Thomas bench as tempers rise. Has been a physical game. That will raise those temperatures. Shot from distance by the Stars is easily stopped by Kukala, who holds on for another draw. Stuckey taking a shot from the middle of the blue line. A little bit of traffic in front, but Kukala saw it all the way. Cooper Olchishin will line up for the draw up against Iwan McChesney. Puck one to the far wall. Chatham will pick it up. Up the center ice, Dockstader pushes ahead across the blue line. Draw pass for Skinner. Now sent around the boards. Stuckey up along the far side. Tied up along the wall. Chatham trying to come away with it, but it's given away. Now the Stars come again. In front, George Matsos. Poke checked off him. Chatham back on the counterattack. Away comes Skinner up the right wing. He'll stop up along the wall. As McChesney driving the net. Trying to backhand pass out in front, but that's off a defender. Near side, Cooper Olchishin. Olchishin winds and fires. Dockstader sticking out the blade of his stick in the way. Sending it over the glass behind Kukala. So face off inside the Chatham zone. St. Thomas with the offensive zone draw. Jimmy Sutherland lines up to take it. He's alongside Edmondson and Ty Lawson. Chatham wins the defensive zone draw though. They'll send it off the near wall ahead to Crawford. Crawford. It stood up the line by Savage, allowing the puck to be picked up by Bezzetta. Bezzetta trying to get it up the far wall. That stopped just inside the St. Thomas blue line. Now they'll get it out on a second attempt. Jimmy Sutherland off the back wall. Picked up by Doyle for the Maroons. Well, has Kucher on his left side. Poked away from him by Sutherland. Back to Doyle. He'll try again up the same direction. Left wing. Away comes Crawford. Trying to chip past Bozzetta. He was wise to that. Now broken up, but the puck sent in deep. Pass out in front to Crawford. Couldn't control it off a skate. Now Savage pushing ahead straight up the middle. To the right wing, Miles Dunn takes a shot from along the wall. That's blocked by Chatham traffic. Crawford off the near wall. Pass ahead. Ends up on the stick of Aitken after a bit of a bobble. And now Crawford in behind the goal line looking for it. It's now picked up by Jimenez. Jimenez pressed up against the wall, lost his stick, bent down, picked it up while controlling the puck. He's still in the corner with it. Now the Stars will muscle it off him. Chesney gives it away in the zone. Now a stretch pass ahead for Edmondson, and it's just out of reach. And will end up being an icing call. So back towards Dylan Durno we go. So a scratch tonight for the Chatham Maroons is Parker Graham. Dealt at the deadline from the Kamoka Kings in a big deal. With Brody Najum going the other way. Najum called up to the OHL. But Parker Graham so far with Chatham 0 points in 5 games played. Whereas in Kamoka, a struggling Kamoka team, he had 28 points in 29 games. There's a chance on the far side, a shot from Pettipies. Out of nowhere, he gets stopped by Kukala with the glove. So if you look at Parker Graham, he's been struggling a little bit with the transition with his new team, it seems. And now out of the lineup for the first time tonight. Face off on the far side, inside the Chatham zone. After the stop from Kukala. One along the wall by the Maroons. They'll send it ahead. And across the blue line, Richter pass out to the far side. Nobody there for it. Chadwick will collect and get it back to Harding. A shot from distance. That'll hit a body and go wide. Still in the zone though. Dockstader a shot. That's tipped in front but just wide. That would have caused trouble if it was a few more inches to the left. In behind the goal line, the Maroons keep the pressure going. Back to LaChance, a shot from distance. That misses wide on the blocker side. Rebound off the backboards, found by Pettipies and sent ahead. But onto the stick of Dockstader. Dockstader, pass ahead to LaChance. LaChance, hard pass across to Richter, whacked off his skate and well away from him. Now Pettipies coming the other way. Pettipies a dangle through the zone, backhand pass in front. Cameron is getting wrestled by Dockstader as they both go down. No call on the play. And so some rough stuff in front of the goal as Cameron was trying to drive the net. They got an arm around him. A chance, a pass out in front. Shot fired wide by Edwards. Off the backboards, Edwards collects, tries a pass out in front. That's stopped up by Legalic, but the rebound collected off of him and shot towards the goal. Durno makes a save and catches it in the chest and hangs on. As the Chatham Maroons pouring on some pressure here in the last few minutes. Still tied 2-2. 11:35 left in the second. A good, tight, competitive game both ways. Shots aren't displayed here anywhere, I don't think. But after the first, the Stars actually had the advantage. I believe it was 19-16. Whereas the last two matchups, that was not the case. Chatham Maroons heavily outshooting the Stars in the last two outings. On November 14th, they outshot the Stars 43-23. And back in September, 61-33. Long stretch pass finds Miles Dunn in front. Tried to make a move to the near side, but goes just too far and runs out of room. Would have been a beauty. Fake the backhand. Or fake the forehand, rather, and tried to go back to the backhand on the near post. Just ran out by a couple inches to try and tuck it in. Back to the blue line. Krell. Far side. Doyle. Pass to the middle of the zone. Finds Lisi. And get it to the far corner. Now cycled behind the net. Pass out in front by Doyle's off a skate. Stars get it up the near side, but Krell keeps it in. Far side. Lisi skates to the near boards. Now a pass back to the far side. Shot from distance, blocked by a body in front. Another pass out in front, stopped by Durno. As Braden Burke got a backhand on it and got it in the path of the goal. Now we got a couple scrums going on behind the St. Thomas goal line. This crowd loves that, that's for sure. A bunch of them standing up on their feet. Gotta love these Chatham fans, always oozing with passion. St. Thomas Stars will have a defensive zone draw here. And actually, the referee's going to take it outside of the zone. After the scrum. Chishin can't win that matchup against Richter. Richter with it in the neutral zone. A pass back to Harding. Harding to a trailing Kucher. Big Carter Kucher up the left wing. He'll get it in deep. Gets taken out by Bezzetta along the wall. Does get the puck in behind the goal line. Another big hit thrown out in front by Chadwick to take out Ilchishin. Stars the other way though. Ty Lawson up along the near wall. He'll get bumped into the glass by Harding. Pass out in front from behind the net. Nobody there. Now a shot, scores! Oh my goodness, Cooper Ilchishin taking an orange out of an apple tree, making something out of nothing. And the Stars take the lead. Looked like a couple giveaways back and forth inside the Chatham zone. Ends up being a nice pass out in front. And Ilchishin lifts it up over the glove. St. Thomas taking their first lead of this game with 10 minutes left in the second period. Halfway mark of this hockey game. Pass far side to Max Skinner. Up the left wing, the Chatham Maroons will dump it in. Now in the near corner, Xander Aitken. Pass out in front. Skinner couldn't get the shot off. Took a swing at it, but the puck wasn't there. Chatham still with it in the offensive zone though. Dockstetter to the far side, Doyle. Doyle whips it out in front of the net, and it's found by the glove of Dylan Durnall. It was tipped right in front of him. Somehow found that with the mitt. Closes it up on him. Now comes Braxton Mullins, Max Monnick, and Chase Pettipiece for another shift. They've played well tonight. They answered the call of this physical game that the Chatham Maroons set the tone of early. And it's been a good impact that Mullins has had, not only himself playing physically, but it seems like his teammates have picked it up in that department since his arrival, which is great to see. Perhaps sharing his experience and his opinions. But an icing call off a quick draw is going to send us right back into the St. Thomas zone. A short 2-second shift. So another face-off. Line's going to stay out there, of course. McChesney wins it off the far wall. Aiden Doyle fires it down low. Priddle in beside the net. Loose puck goes off the side of the net. And behind the net, the Trevor Zanuto looking for it. Up the far wall, the Stars try to clear it. Gets stopped up. Now they'll try again. Braxton Mullins. He'll dump it in after a toe drag at center ice. And behind the net, Pettipiece throwing a hit to try and loosen up the puck. McChesney comes in to grab it. And now a pass ahead to Zanuto. Trevor Zanuto up the near side, takes a spill on the entry. Now the loose puck grabbed by Owen Gray. He'll try up the near side. That's stopped by Priddle and kept in. McChesney, a pass out right in front of the goal. Nobody could receive it. But again, the Chatham Maroons keep possession in the offensive zone. Mullins carries it out. Avoids a big hit from Kucher, who stood up at the blue line. Mullins taking it well. Another hit on the far side. Mullins goes down that time on a hit from Priddle. Far side. In the Chatham zone, the Stars out in front. Pass to the far side, scores! Oh, what a beauty Wyatt Cameron on the near side making a move in front of the goal and finding Mullins on the doorstep on the far side, who tucks it in. What a beautiful apple that was by Wyatt Cameron. Stars up by 2 goals now. And with that, Braxton Mullins, 2 goals in 3 games with the St. Thomas Stars. He's only got 3 on the season. Or pardon me, 4 now on the season in 31 games. I think he likes his new home. Chatham Maroons off the draw. They have it in their own zone. Harding up the left wing. Gets bumped into the wall by Miles Dunn. Legalic trying to get it into the zone. That's on the stick of Dockstader now. A loose stick has made its way to the center ice. One of the Chatham defenders lost it. Ilchishin throws a hit on Skinner, forcing him to the far wall inside his own zone. Now it's sent ahead. Almost tripping over that stick was Jimenez as he gets over the blue line. Jimenez on the near side, trying to get it back to the blue line. He does. Shot from Doyle from distance. That misses wide on the glove side. Off the backboard. In behind the net now. Owen Gray looking for it. Gray up to Stuckey. Right in front of the goal. He'll get it to the far boards. Now flung down the ice onto the stick of Ilchishin, trying to drive in front of the goal, but Kuchter pokes it to the near side. Far boards. Aiden Edwards. He'll walk in across the blue line. Edwards, a shot on. Stick saved by Durnall, closing up the 5-hole. Rebound. Cleared to the side. Now on the far boards, George Matsos will pick it up. He'll fling it off the glass and ahead, and an offside call. As Ty Lawson makes the catch, but on the wrong side of the blue line. And the referees are actually going to bring this face-off inside the St. Thomas zone. 6:31 left in the second period. The St. Thomas Stars have scored a pair to make it a 2-goal hockey game. Up 4-2. Far side, Doyle. In the offensive zone, the Chatham Maroons are. Priddle, near side to Doyle along the blue line. Now Kucher from the near face-off dot takes a shot, and that's stopped by Durnall with ease as he'll cover it up. Now another discussion happening in the far corner. Joey Bezzetta getting into it a little bit. That time with Jackson Priddle as they exchange some shoves. I don't know why I did so many shushes there. The Portuguese is coming out. So Priddle and Bezzetta are going to both go to the box to serve a couple penalties. And we are going to get some 4-on-4 here in Chatham. Coincidental Miners doing a little bit too much in that far corner. Both men will serve some time. Bohoviak up off the far wall. Stolen by Zanuto. Trying to make a move, but the secondary defender makes a poke check. Rowan Reed with it now. Reed cuts to the middle in his own zone. Passing play by the Stars in their own zone. Have to get out. Now they do. Up to Jimmy Sutherland. Sutherland takes a shove from Krell. That'll loosen the puck. And now the Maroons coming the other way. McChesney in across the blue line on the near side. Drop pass. Finds Zanuto. A shot saved by Durnall. Rebound was a juicy one, but it's cleared away by the Stars. Now a pass ahead. Wyatt Cameron with some room. No, he doesn't have the room. Doyle took it away as he'll pick up the puck on the near side and head forward. Straight across the blue line. Doyle, a shot, scores! Aiden Doyle cuts the lead in half. With 5:27 remaining, the Chatham Maroons now down by 1. And Durnall getting beat on the blocker's side on the far face-off dot. A heavy offensive defenseman Aiden Doyle stepping up and scoring his 7th of the season. Now has 34 points in 29 games. As the Chatham Maroons have no shortage of offense, that's for sure. They've got 6 point per game players and 2 more that are above .9. Their scoring depth is impressive. There's another shot from the far side, misses the net. Off the near boards, the Maroons collected in the offensive zone. Along the wall, Harding with it. He'll skate along the blue line. Pass to the far side. Dockstetter returns it to LaChance now on the near side. Cutting across was Richter. Goes down. No penalty called. The crowd really wants it. Stars will steal the puck in their own zone now. Eloan Legalic. In across the blue line. Offensive zone. Legalic takes it, taken down in front of the net. Still trying to play the puck from his keister. But the Chatham Maroons pick it up. Legalic was on that keister right in front of the goal, trying to whack that thing towards the goal, the net. Kucher will dump it into the St. Thomas end. Owen Gray to collect. He's stopped up behind his own goalie. Owen Gray waiting for a line change to complete. And now he'll head forward straight up the middle. Now he's got Ilchishin on the left side. Pass ahead to Ilchishin. Into the zone. Icing waved off. Chatham will collect it, send it up the far side. Crawford takes a hit from Lawson. Lawson got a stick up high and went down. No call on that either. Referees are letting him play. On the near side, Chatham entering the zone. Wraparound pass in front, tapped just wide by Crawford. Good play by Jimenez to get it there. St. Thomas with it in their own zone now. 3:30 left in this second period. Stars hold on to a 1-goal lead. Ty Lawson up along the near boards. He's getting pressed up against the glass. A couple Maroons trying to fish it out of his skates, and they do so. Pass it back to Krell. Krell ahead to Jimenez on the near side. Jimenez loses the puck off a couple Stars. Now Joey Bezzetta with it for St. Thomas. Pass out of his own zone, finds Lawson on the near side, gets tied up in his body, and sent back to the Chatham defenders. Now a pass ahead to Krell as he walks in the offensive zone. Priddle winds and fires, saved by Durno, doing a snow angel, quick whistle, blows the play dead. And again, these fans don't like it. But the referees stop the play and a face-off inside the St. Thomas zone after a Durno save. We saw Durno come off the bench cold and give up a bad one similar to that against London on Friday. But again, he was coming in cold off the bench. A shot from distance trickled through him. A shot from Zanudo from outside goes off of a stick and out of play. Another stoppage inside the St. Thomas zone. Face-off will be on the near side. Face-off won by the Stars. Off the back of the net, it's collected by Vahoviak. I think I'm getting heckled here by the Chatham fans. Zanudo, pass back to the blue line. Shot from distance, just beside the net. It's collected by McChesney. Out to Zanudo. He'll find McChesney behind the net again. Another pass out in front to Priddle. McChesney's looked dangerous on those passes from behind the net. He'll try another one, that time off the back of the net to himself. Shot from an angle, trying to bank it off Durno. Durno makes a stop. Edmondson up the far side. Cameron. Edmondson now to Reed. The trailer winds, fires it. Pad saved by Kukala on the near side. Loose puck in the Chatham zone being fought for and won by Sutherland, who takes a shot but misses the net. Owen Gray keeps it in at the far side blue line. Now Wyatt Cameron collecting behind the net. Sutherland kicks it out in front. Somehow got a shot off, stopped by Kukala. And cleared down the ice out of desperation by the Maroons to relieve the pressure. Now a stretch pass finds Mullins. He can't slow it down enough as it heads ahead of him. Deep in the zone, Monick will find it. Along the far wall, bank pass looking for Mullins. Mullins pokes it back in Monick's direction. But into the skates, it's tied up. Now Owen Gray will keep it in at the blue line again. Send it behind the goal. Picked up by Dockstader. Dockstader switches to the near side to LaChance. And up the ice. Richter. And across the blue line, up the right wing. He has a step. Richter trying to go 5-hole. Stopped by Durno again. Oh, Dylan Durno. Beauty save. Big hit thrown by Pettapiece in the offensive zone. No shortage of action tonight here at the Chatham Memorial Arena. Dumped into the Chatham zone as the Stars need a line change. They'll get it. Out comes Legalic, Cameron, and Dunn. Pass up the ice from the Maroons. Into the offensive zone comes Chadwick. Drives the net. Rebounds loose off the post, it looks like. And stays out. Dylan Durno was scrambling. Another shot in front. That's off the pad and over the net. Durno was looking for it as it goes to the corner. Well, picked up by Chadwick in the near side. He'll send it back behind the net to Skinner. Skinner head up looking for a pass. Gets it out to Doyle. Shot towards the goal. That's off the body of Miles Dunn. Another shot off Cameron and then off Durno and over the net. Big hit thrown behind the goal, and that's going to blow the play dead as it looks like we might have a penalty. Referee's got to sort things out here. They've got one Chatham Maroon in their clutches. No, the time expired. I was so caught up in the action I didn't know the period ended. Also, the scoreboard's cut off a little bit by a pillar. But after 2 periods of play, the Stars hold on to a 1-goal lead in an action-packed game here in Chatham. As the Stars battling back and now cling on to that 1-goal advantage entering the third. Live from the Chatham Memorial Arena in Chatham, Ontario on the St. Thomas Stars audio live stream on the YouTube channel. Please like and subscribe and share. Help us grow this thing and keep it going as we will take a short break for second intermission and be back for the third in just a bit. Welcome back live on the St. Thomas Stars YouTube channel for the live audio stream of the St. Thomas Stars at the Chatham Maroons. And after the first 2 periods of play, the St. Thomas Stars hold on to a 4-3 lead going into the 3rd period. Goal scoring summary so far: Trevor Zanuto got the first goal of the game, his 26th on the season, assisted by McChesney and Kuchar at 1:28. Jimmy Sutherland tied it, assisted by Cade Kinnear and Cole Edmondson at 5:02. Chatham reclaimed the 1-goal lead, a goal from Xander Aitken at 10:19. St. Thomas tying it at 2-2, with Eloan Legalick scoring his 9th goal, assisted by Sutherland and Gray at 15:02. Second period, the Stars pulled ahead. Cooper Ilchishin getting a goal at the 10-minute mark, unassisted. And a double down, a goal from Braxton Mullins, his 4th goal on the season, assisted by Wyatt Cameron with a beautiful assist. And Stuckey getting the secondary apple on that at 11:59. The Chatham Maroons cut that 2-goal lead in half. Aidan Doyle with his 7th goal on the season, assisted by Evan Krell and Ewan McChesney at 14:33. So that is where we stand after 40 minutes of play. The St. Thomas Stars will try and hang on to this 1-goal lead or add to it going down the stretch and try and take a elusive win in the Chatham hometown barn. As the horn sounds, the Maroons hit the ice, as do the St. Thomas Stars, who will be guarding the left net, attacking to the right for the 3rd period. Again, the Stars up by 1. It's been a competitive game so far, back and forth and back again, and then forth again. It's going all the way, as it's been a great display of everything tonight. Good hits, good goals, great goaltending, some big saves. As we see who wants it more. That's something Kevin Linker touched on after a recent interview I did with him after the London loss, where he said it's a good display of the fact that you got to want it, you got to work hard, see it to the very end, leave every game knowing you gave it everything you had, and try and will the wins out there and string them together. This is a young St. Thomas team, so they're going to be learning as they go. They have been learning as they go, and they'll keep developing. And be curious to see how many of these young men come back next season, see if we can keep a good core group together, build that chemistry and that experience together. Unless, of course, they move up to the OHL. Chatham in the offensive zone. Coxtetter takes the puck, but it exits the area, and they'll have to dump it in, and Owen Gray will pick it up. Gray trying to hard pass up the left, but the puck hopped off his stick, so he'll have to keep playing the puck. Now he'll try up the left side. Finds Eloan Legalick. Legalick pass ahead at the blue line to Cameron. Finds a trailing Miles Dunn. Winds and fires. That's off a stick and up and over the glass. Offensive zone draw for St. Thomas. Ty Lawson in to take it up against McChesney. Stars win it back to the blue line. Rory Savage looking towards the net. Hangs onto it and it gets steered into the near corner. Savage still fighting for it. Gets poked off his stick, but onto Matzos' stick. Now a shot from the point. Bezzetta off of Ty Lawson in front of the goal. Redirected past Kukala. The Stars retake their 2-goal lead just over a minute into the 3rd. Long shot from Bezzetta on the near side along the blue line. And Ty Lawson on the far post was in the way of that going wide, and instead goes in the back of the net. Face-off at center ice, won by the St. Thomas Stars after they take the 2-goal lead back. Ty Lawson, pass back to Bezzetta. Bezzetta switches to the far side to Savage, who will now take it into the zone. Savage poked off his stick. He'll try and chase it in. It's on the stick of the Maroons defenders. Far side. Ahead to Braden Burke. Gets away from him. It'll now get whacked into the neutral zone by the Stars. The Maroons will pick it back up. Kuchar. Pardon me. Kuchar will hand it off to Lacey. Lacey up the far side. Oh dear. I'm still battling this cough. I'm going to have to get checked out. Can't get a word out right now without coughing. Collision at center ice as the puck heads into the Chatham zone. Now they'll send it up the right wing. Vahoviak muscling his man out of the play. Rowan Reed. Left side. Over to Cole Edmondson. Returned back from Cameron and couldn't get a shot off. On the near side, it'll be rung around the backboards by the Maroons in their own zone. Dockstader in the far corner. Now he'll pass near side to Krell. Krell skating through center ice. Up the right wing. He'll find Aitken. Trying to get a pass out in front, but that hits a body, and the clear attempt by the Stars heads up into the St. Thomas bench for a stoppage in play. Out comes that Monick, Mullins, and Pettipiece line. They've been a thrilling line to watch tonight. Mullins getting the goal, but he got the assist from Wyatt Cameron off of a mixed line change. The chance off the Chatham face-off win in the offensive zone. Pass out in front, glides through about 5 player sticks before exiting the zone. Stuckey up the left side, finds Mullins at the blue line. Mullins stops a clear attempt. Centering pass attempt is blocked by the Chatham defenders. Far side, Harding, and across the blue line, gets deflected back into the neutral zone. Now Mullins picks it up and heads forward. Mullins, a shot from distance, misses wide. Rebound heads all the way around the boards and back into the St. Thomas end. Braxton Mullins did actually play one game for these Chatham Maroons well early in the season, and that game was against the St. Thomas Stars at the Chatham Maroons home opener where they raised their banner. After that one game, Braxton getting dealt to the London Nationals, where he also played a game against St. Thomas. And now with his new team, facing another former team after playing the Nationals twice. First 3 games for Braxton Mullins in a St. Thomas jersey were against his former teams. Near side, St. Thomas trying to get a handle on that puck in their own zone. Monick taking a whack at it. Takes a big hit from Priddle on the near side and goes down hard. As he was reaching up to try and catch the puck that was popped up in the air, he got railed. In behind the net, Dockstader will pick it up from his own zone. Near side, McChesney. Shot far post. Misses wide. Rebound heads out to the blue line to Kuchar. He'll play it off the wall, back in deep. Behind the net. Gets sent to the near boards by the Stars, who are trying to push ahead. Miles Dunn is going to dump it into the Chatham zone. Close to Kukala. He'll keep the play going. As Chatham heads forward. McChesney. In across the blue line, and another offside against the Maroons on the entry, as they've had quite a few of those tonight on the rushes forward. McChesney, on his way to the bench, stops up to have a conversation with the Stars bench. 15:34, the Stars up 5-3 here in Chatham. For the most recent goal by Ty Lawson. In across the blue line, Savage, a drop pass for Lawson, shot in front, partially blocked, but then into the pads, a save by Kukala. Well, Ty Lawson gets it again in the neutral zone. He'll head up the left wing into the Chatham end. Gets hit up along the boards. Puck glides in behind the net. Chatham grabs the puck from their own zone. Far side, Krell. He'll jump it in. Heads off the net and stops behind the net. Pass out in front. Saved by Durno on a 5-hole attempt in front of him. Back the other way, George Matzos. He'll flip it high into the far corner as he needs a line change. Chatham with the puck. Another big save by Durno in his own zone. Chatham walking out right in front of the goal and trying to tuck it in. Behind the net, Rowan Reed. Reed off the far wall. Gets it ahead to Wyatt Cameron. Bohoviak pushes it ahead. Few hits thrown, but the puck keeps propelling forward. Now Rowan Reed, a shot through traffic, hits a body and stops up. Reed chases to the corner, now gets it to Cameron. Cameron far post in front, nets off. As the Stars were whipping it around in the offensive zone, the net gets pushed off as the goaltender trying to go post to post. Sends it right off. Offensive zone draw for St. Thomas. They're going to send out Monic, Mullins, and Pettipice. Bohoviak and Reed on the back end. In the Chatham end. Up the far wall. Chatham's going to steal it off a Stars face-off win. LaChance walking into the zone. Shot saved by Durno. Now collected behind the net by Chadwick. He'll get it back to Kucher at the blue line. Dockstetter whipping it across the zone. Chadwick in front. Couldn't hang on to it off a poke check. Mullins will take it into the zone. Mullins gets bumped into again by Kucher. Those two have collided a few times tonight in a big way. LaChance pass to Dockstetter behind the Chatham net. Dockstetter is going to take it right back behind the net and let his team change. And now McChesney takes it. Up the ice, he'll dump it in. Zanuto into chase. He'll grab it behind the net. Centering pass. Couldn't be controlled. St. Thomas with a counterattack here. Miles Dunn up the left side. Pass to Cameron in the middle. Shot saved by Kukala. As Cameron gets a good look. Just couldn't beat the Finnish goaltender. He'll take a shot from McChesney. Cameron will. As they chat again. Two teams getting real friendly tonight. We'll have to see if that carries over to Friday night when the Chatham Maroons are in St. Thomas. I'm sure it will. Wyatt Cameron in on the draw against McChesney. It's sent back to the blue line. Now whacked ahead by the Stars defenders. Now the Maroons get a handle on it. But the pass ahead is off a skate in behind the St. Thomas net. Chatham trying to pass it around behind the net. They do end up with it. Big hit thrown by Wyatt Cameron, taking his man down behind Dylan Durno. And now they'll push ahead. Miles Dunn making a move around the defender. A shot towards the goal is partially blocked and then kicked away by Kukala. Chatham with it in their own zone. From the near corner, Dockstetter, a long stretch pass looking for Priddle on the far side, is deflected up and out of play for another stoppage. Haven't seen any penalties tonight other than the coincidental minors. As these referees have let a lot go tonight, letting these teams play a physical game. Bezzetta, pass up to the blue line. Gets it to Ty Lawson. A give and go with Ilchishin. Lawson trying to get it back to the near post, but it's fired just wide in tight. Now up the near boards. The Maroons will clear it to center ice. St. Thomas picks it up again. Sent ahead by Savage and tipped in. Ty Lawson into chase in the far corner, along with George Matzos. Matzos gets bumped off the puck. Kucher coming towards the St. Thomas net. Pass in front to Crawford. Makes a move around a defender. Backhand goes wide. Kucher collects it in the neutral zone. Pass over to Harding. Under 12 minutes now in the third period. St. Thomas up 2 goals. Tipped in off the dump in by Chatham. Now St. Thomas will pick it up. Pass ahead to Jimmy Sutherland up the right wing. He'll cross the blue line. Cuts to the middle. Sent towards goal off the backboard. Edmondson sends it back into the far corner. Picked up by Sutherland again. Another centering pass. That time Wyatt Cameron firing it wide on the near side. In the far boards, Jimmy Sutherland keeping the pressure going in the offensive end. Flung from the blue line into the near corner. Sutherland sends him backwards once more, but now Doyle will push ahead. Doyle, backhand dump in the near corner. Pass out in front. The shot attempt is off a body and well out of the zone. Chatham will collect it in their own end. Up the middle, Alexander Lisi. And across the blue line. He'll drop the puck. It's picked up by a teammate. Shot from the blue line. Wide. Another pass out in front. Goes under Dylan Durno to the far side. And another shot attempt, but that time Durno recovering to the far post will kick off the net. As the pegs on these nets do not look very big. Looks like they come off pretty easy. Now a couple times that happening here in the third. Face-off will end up in the St. Thomas zone. Referees still don't put the net back on. Now they do. A 5-3 hockey game here at the Chatham Memorial Arena. St. Thomas Stars on the better half of that. St. Thomas just one win in their last 10 games played. But they are competing hard against this first place Chatham team in the West. Shot from distance will be off a body and up and over the glass again, so we'll have to redo the face-off. Of course, be sure to join us at the Joe on Friday night for the rematch between these two teams. If it's anything like tonight, it's going to be a thriller of a game, as this one has been action-packed all throughout. Near side off the wall, Harding walks away. Now drops it to LaChance. Pass across the zone, misses the target. Kucher in a foot race with Pettipice, back for it. Pettipice gets there, sends it through the middle of the zone, but didn't have a teammate to receive it. Harding ahead for the Maroons. Up to Chadwick, pass to LaChance in front. Return pass, and that one will go wide off a poke check and clear down the ice, but an icing call against the Stars will send us back into the St. Thomas end. Good poke check to break up that drop pass in front of Dylan Durno. St. Thomas now facing a defensive zone draw just about halfway through this third period. Face-off won by Chatham in the offensive zone. Doyle will get it down deep. In behind the net, Zanudo battling up against the back wall. Cameron flicks it with his glove off the ice to the corner. Now Doyle tries a shot from distance. That's blocked by traffic in front and then cleared down the ice again. And another icing call against the Stars. These Chatham fans yelling at the players on the ice and the referees. Beats off on the near side. Inside the Stars' end. Max Monick lining up for the draw. To the near wall, Chase Pettipice will grab possession. Trying to get around the defender, but Doyle stands in the way. And now Chatham back the other way. Richter tries to make a move. He's dragged down, and there's a penalty. That will be called against St. Thomas. Wyatt Cameron doesn't like it. He's going to go for tripping, it looks like. Actually, it's Savage who's going to go. Wyatt Cameron just asking why. So Savage in the box. Chatham will send out their power play. 24.1% on the season. Face-off won by the Maroons as they set up that power play. Far side, Chadwick back to the blue line. McChesney over to Richter on the near post, and a shot tipped wide by LaChance. Richter letting it go from distance. LaChance Found it in midair, but didn't get it on net. Far side, Chatham still in the offensive zone. Richter whips it in front of the goal, looking for a redirect again. That time, off a body and then cleared quickly by St. Thomas. Long stretch pass, trying to catch him on a line change, finds Chadwick on the right wing. Chadwick around behind the net. Puck whacked off his stick by Owen Gray, but he recollects and gets it back to Richter at the blue line. Richter back down low beside the net to McChesney. Now Richter, far side, Chadwick whips one on and scores. Oh, what a bomb by Carter Chadwick. One-time clapper from the far wall. That gets past Durno on the power play. Score now 5-4 for the St. Thomas Stars. As the Chatham Maroons cut it to 1 again. It's been the only power play tonight, and the Maroons capitalize. Now the Maroons collected off the center ice draw. They'll head into the zone. In behind the net. Pass out in front from Jimenez goes off a skate. And the Stars come away. Stretch pass for Legalic. Hops off the blade of his stick. Miles Dunn breaks up a pass ahead. It's back on the defender's sticks of Chatham. Now sent ahead to Jimenez. Jimenez pass out in front of the goal. Picked up by Legalic. And the Stars head forward. Long saucer pass from Legalic to Wyatt Cameron. Cameron has to chase that in the corner. Goes down awkwardly on a collision. That was Aitken taking him down. Now a shot in front. Saved by Kukala, who hangs on for a draw. Crowd is real into it now after the power play goal from their team. An offensive zone draw for the Stars. 7:53 left in the third. Stars with a 1-goal lead, 5-4. Chatham flips it off the glass. They'll head into the St. Thomas end. Ian LaChance trying to chase it down. Takes down Rory Savage. Now Savage battling for it against a couple Maroons on the far side. Flicked to center ice by Ty Lawson. Dockstader sends it in deep for the St. Thomas end. Bezzetta in behind the net. Chatham trying to create some pressure as Bezzetta gets a pass off to the far side. Into the zone, George Matsos dragged down to the corner by Dockstader. Loose puck collected by the Maroons. Up center ice in LaChance. Off the skate and a hit at the blue line. Bezzetta taking his man down. That's center ice. The Stars trying to push forward. Can't keep control of the puck though. Ty Lawson in a shoving match with a couple Maroons at center ice. Refs are going to let that go. Now Chatham pushes ahead. McChesney up the far wall. He'll collect it in the St. Thomas zone behind the net. Now around the near side. Deflection will allow the Stars to come away. Wyatt Cameron up the right side. Winds and fires. Kuchar getting his stick in the way of that. And it will head up and over the glass behind Kukala. Another stoppage in play. This would be a massive win for the St. Thomas Stars, not only in the standings, but for their mentality as well. After a rough 6 weeks or so, going winless in December, 1-7-2 in their last 10. A win against a first-place team would feel amazing. Chatham will take it into the offensive zone for now, though. Far side, Bohoviak up the far wall. We'll get it to Edmondson, who backhands it through the neutral zone. Jimmy Sutherland trying to get a step here. Sutherland a shot, far post. That's off the pad of Kukala and redirected to the far boards. Harding back the other way. Zanudo chasing it in behind the net. Zanudo gets it back to the blue line. Krell winds, fires, blocked by Sutherland, who hustles back to get involved in the play. Priddle collects it from his own zone. He'll head up the right wing, trying to get into the St. Thomas end. He's muscled off by Owen Gray. allowing Stuckey to pass it ahead to Mullins. He'll fling it off the far boards. Into the Chatham zone it goes. And now picked up by Krell. Krell up the right wing finds Lacey. Lacey poke checked off him. At the blue line, kept in by Krell. Over to Dockstader. Winds and fires. Blocker save by Durno, who redirects it up and over the glass. 5:20 left in this third period. Stars up 5-4. Chatham with the most recent goal, though. Trying to carry some momentum forward. The Stars trying to shut it down a bit here. Trying to capitalize on the counterattacks when they can. Mello on Legalic up the left side. Whipped the pass up the middle to Cameron. He had a couple too many Maroons around him who steal the puck. Now a pass ahead by Chatham is nowhere, and onto the stick of Savage. Savage fires it forward, tipped in by Dunn. Behind the net will be sent up the near side by the Maroons. Bezzetta fires it right back in, redirected in front of the goal, and Kukala had to readjust to make a pad save. That would have been an ugly one for him. Up the left side, Cameron, backhand pass out in front. No white jerseys there. Chatham will pick it up. Far side pass, Ian with chance. Chatham into the offensive zone across the blue line. St. Thomas trying to get it up the wall off a turnover. They've got it in their own zone. Wyatt Cameron now with it in the neutral zone. Wyatt Cameron up the left side, trying to dangle around Kucher. Gets it to the corner. Now behind the net, Miles Dunn trying to whip it back out in front. That's stopped up by the Maroons defenders. Priddle was way ahead of the play, receives a pass, broken up by Vahoviak, and Dunn in there to help him out. Now on the far side, Harding pushing ahead, trying to get a shot off. That's blocked. And from the corner, a sharp angle shot, and Durno trying to make the shoulder save on the short side. The net pops off, and the crowd letting him have it. And Miles Dunn will have to stay out there, as the eagle-eyed fans pointed out. So face-off on the far side. In the Stars' end. Hit off the draw from Milchishin. He's checking his hand and heading to the bench. He throws his gloves off, as he might have been cut on the play. He's going to get checked out by the trainers. Milchishin immediately looked at his hand and then flung off his gloves and his stick, and then headed to the bench. And hopefully Cooper Ochishin's all right. Face off in the Chatham zone. Jimmy Sutherland lines up on the near side. Sutherland up against Lacey. Tie up on the draw will end up going to the neutral zone. Lacey chases it down. He's got it on the right side. He'll dump it in. Vahoviak back to collect. He'll cycle it to the near corner. Although Edwards the only one there. Edwards tried to make a move but ended up exiting the zone off a poke check. Edwards leaves it for McChesney. 3:15 left in the third. Stars trying to hold on to this one-goal lead. Pass out in front off the side of the goal. And behind the net, it's battled for. And off the far side, Zanuto chops it back in behind the goal line. Rowan Reed to collect for the Stars. He gets it stripped off him by LaChance. LaChance from behind the goal. Shot, scores! The pass out from behind the goal line. And it'll be Carter Chadwick who buries it past Dylan Durno to tie it at 5-5. going to be a tight one to the very end. Under 3 minutes now. Tie hockey game. It's been a thriller so far. A great battle both ways. Dylan Richter turning on the Jets. Pass out in front off a skate. And now whacked out in front again. The puck's floating there. Cleared aside by Gray. Chadwick dumps it back in behind the net. Far side, Richter trying to cycle that puck with LaChance. LaChance back to the blue line. Whipped across, but out of the zone by Harding. Dockstedter's going to have to retreat. Up the far side. LaChance and across the blue line. He'll try and chip it past Owen Gray. It's sent back to the blue line, and now the Stars try and push ahead. Head a piece up to Monick. That's broken up by Harding at his own blue line, and he'll head forward up the left side. Centering pass in front, just over the net, off a shot from McChesney. That might have hit the stick shaft of Dylan Durnall as it popped up and out of play. Don't know how it would have got there otherwise. Offensive zone draw for the Maroons. Now 2 minutes left in regulation. Wyatt Cameron lines up for the defensive zone draw. Pass back to Doyle. Shot from the point. Hits wide off the backboard. Stars a rush the other way and an offside call. Pardon me, I started choking there for a second. Face-off is outside of the Chatham Maroons zone. Wyatt Cameron up against Braden Burke. Burke wins it back to his defenders. Dockstetter, far side Doyle. Now back for Dockstetter as he skates up the middle. Up the right side, Dockstetter's going to backhand it in behind the St. Thomas net. Gazzetta trying to ring it around the near boards. Chatham with a steal in the offensive zone. Far side, back to the blue line. Dockstetter over to Doyle on the near side. Shot in front. Stopped up. Cameron sends it down the ice. Icing waved off as it heads behind the Chatham net. Kukala plays it up the near boards. Now sent forward. Ahead to Chadwick. Gets around Monick, but it's another offside for the Maroons. Face off in the neutral zone. 1:01 left in regulation. Chatham Maroons have just tied it up at 5-5. Face off sent to the near side. Dockstetter a shot from distance, steered to the side by Durnall. Edmondson up the far boards. Puck gets sent in deep by Richter. Now a pass off a skate back to the far boards. Edmondson tied up and now poked out to Sutherland. Sutherland pushing ahead. A shot from distance. Pad save from Kukala. Now picked up by Dockstetter. Dockstetter in behind his goal. He'll wait for his team to complete a change and set up an exit. Now he'll step out in front of Kukala. Up the middle. Now a pass to the left side to LaChance. LaChance stolen from him by Ty Lawson. Off to Miles Dunn. Dunn in front. Shot saved 5-hole by Kukala. As Kukala saves it, and now a 2-on-1 the other way. Chadwick winds, fires, and misses wide on the glove side. And the referees are going to blow the whistle saying that went out of play as well. What a ruckus crowd here in Chatham. They always are. This building opened in 1949. And a very dedicated fan base, especially after the championship last year. Gotta imagine that helps things. Far side, face off. Ty Lawson's down on the puck and the man poking at him. Stuckey takes a shot at Burke, who's trying to poke that puck from under Lawson. And a few more discussions on that far face-off dot inside the St. Thomas Stars zone. Now we got a scrap almost, it looks like. Stuckey trying to wrestle Burke. The gloves are still on, but getting a little rough there. Referees, I don't think are going to do anything after that scrum. Owen Gray is trying to chat with the ref, but nobody's sent to the box either way. Faceoff's going to be taken outside the zone. Ty Lawson in for the draw. It's one back to the Stars zone, but the regulation buzzer goes, and we will be going to overtime. It's been a thriller from start to finish between the Chatham Maroons and the St. Thomas Stars. One of the better games this season. There have been quite a few thrilling games the St. Thomas Stars have been involved in. And it's been another one tonight. It's going to shape up to be a great finish. So both teams are going to head to their bench and get a quick coaching and a quick breather before starting a 3-on-3 overtime period, scheduled for 7 minutes or less. For this overtime period, the Stars will be guarding the right net as they switch one more time. So Stars on the right attacking to the left. Chatham guarding the left, attacking to the right. Out there to start the overtime frame, Jimmy Sutherland, Wyatt Cameron, and Rory Savage. And they'll be up against Dylan Richter, Chadwick, and LaChance. St. Thomas wins the important opening draw as they gain first possession. Got a "Go Chatham Go" chant going on. Far side, Jimmy Sutherland. He'll cut across the middle now, heads in along the left wing. He's crisscrossing me over. Now he has to retreat as didn't like the entry. Gotta hang on to that puck. Now Sutherland turns on the Jets up the left wing. Trying to enter the zone. Puck gets tied up, might have hit the linesman. Now Chatham in the offensive zone. Richter, a pass out in front. Durno with a big save going post to post. As Chadwick tried to tuck it forehand on the far side. Now Kukala plays it up the far boards, up to Chadwick. After the puck glides in on him. Well, both teams will get some fresh legs out there. It's Priddle with it. He'll leave it for McChesney. Priddle, McChesney, and Zanuto now against Legalic. Miles Dunn and Rowan Reed. A cut to the middle by McChesney. Goes through the paint and to the far side. McChesney battles back for it. Tries to get it up the wall, but gives it away. Stretch pass, finding Legalic on the near side. Legalic trying to wait for some help. He'll make a move. Legalic backhand scores! Oh, Legalic slicking back the hair after a beauty in overtime. The St. Thomas Stars come into Chatham and upset the Maroons for a big St. Thomas win. A struggling St. Thomas win, or a struggling St. Thomas team coming into Chatham and beating the first place team in the West. And as stated earlier, this is a big win not only for the standings, but a big win for the mentality of the Stars here, taking on the former Sutherland Cup champs, current first place team, and taking home the 2 points. Thank you for joining us live from Chatham, Ontario on the... I'm dying. It's too much excitement. Live on the St. Thomas Stars YouTube channel Please subscribe and like, and we'll wrap this up. We'll see you at home on Friday night where these two teams meet again. Thank you, and have a great night.